What would you do if you were getting close to a closing and you found out that the seller was in the middle of a foreclosure and the auction was going to occur prior to the closing? That's what we're about to talk about, folks. Hi, I'm Mark Stiles. I'm down here at Studio B at 892 with my friend Thomas McCoy of Studio B, and I want to talk to you about a scenario. So, on earlier episodes, we've talked about the need to ask a lot of questions. Market is shifting a bit. There's some more distress out there, and you need to deep dive and ask a bunch of questions. How are they doing on their finances, etc.? Yes, very uncomfortable to ask, but it's a very necessary line of questioning to have. Okay, so let's assume it didn't happen, and we're in a situation just like I said. You're sitting down, you open the paper, and you see, oh my goodness, my client's property is being auctioned off next week, and the closing's not for 3 more weeks. What is the first thing you do? Well, the first thing you would want to do is sit down with your client. This is a 911. Now, I don't use that term very often, but all hands on deck. Hopefully, we've already have an attorney in place and is ready at the whim to start making the phone calls. First phone call is to the law firm of the bank. That's right, the law firm. You don't want to call the bank. If it's this far along, then the law firm is the point of contact. How do you find out who that law firm is? In the advertisement that you just saw in the paper will state who the law firm is, or at a minimum, depending on your state, it will have the auction company where you would then be able to track down the law firm handling the foreclosure process. Then what? Well, first, you let them know that you have a ready, willing, and able buyer ready to close. So please, pretty please, with sugar on top, will you extend the auction until we have time to close the file? What happens if they're unwilling to extend? Well, there's not a lot of remedies for you. The first thing you need to figure out, however, is there equity in the property? Are you proceeding with a short sale, or is the seller due to receive proceeds from the sale of their property? Typically, the bank at that point in time, if you can prove to them that you have a ready, willing, and able buyer without any contingencies, they'll extend the auction date to give you time to do that. Again, if they don't, however, you would have to go to court. So hopefully you have an attorney, a seasoned real estate attorney who's aware of this process. In Massachusetts, the process would be called a temporary restraining order. You would be restraining the bank from proceeding with the foreclosure because the client has substantial money at stake. And if the auction were to happen, they risk not receiving that money. In the interest of equity, most judges will grant this temporary restraining order and give you enough time to get the file closed and your client proceeds. Folks, if you enjoyed this content, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, comment, and share with everyone and anyone. Thank you and be well.